Thank you so much. That's like a typical media environment with Go Ahead. And very, very, very good morning to all the parents. A warm welcome to this online interaction. Apologies for a brief bump in the morning, but technical glitches are part of this online environment. My name is Gauri Chakrabarti. I'm a professor at the Times School of Media, and my colleague Nikhil Pandey and me will be the co-moderators for the day. So, hi, Nikhil, again, formally. Glad to see you this morning.
Glad to
And
see you. Glad to see you, ma'am. Good morning.
thank you. And we are also joined by Dean, Times School of Media, Professor Sanjeev Ratna Singh, faculty members Shruti Jain, Anvesha Sharma, Gunjan Sharma, who are experts in their domain. And we really would like to engage with you today to get more insights into how we conduct our courses and programs at the Times School of Media. So we'll try to take you through the ideology and the mentoring philosophy at the school, and it's very important to share with you that we do understand that higher education for one's children is a very important decision for a family. The choice where they study can really define the future pathway for any young person. And definitely today, parents recognize that these future pathways are connected to the choices that the young people, the young learners make in their life. I think it's also important for a guardian or a parent to be aware of how a program can help these aspirations be converted and push them ahead for a fruitful professional standing in the domain of their choice. And universities are training grounds for future leaders of that domain as well. We understand that critical responsibility. So, we'd like to talk about the value based education and the skill based learning that students undergo at Times School of Media. And at university level, we always, as academicians, say that, especially for the undergraduate studies, it's like a tripartite relationship that we have, where on one side, the student has guidance from the family, the guardians, and on the other side, because they are at such a dynamic and energetic phase of their life when they're doing undergrad, that the mentors, the faculty, the trainers that they interact with also become their guiding force for life. So we recognize this tripartite relationship, and we are sure that together we will be able to take your ward to the future steps of their career. So at this stage, I'd like to invite Professor Sanjeev Ratna Singh to give the opening remarks so that we can set the stage for discussing the courses, the programs at Times School of Media. Over to you, Dr. Singh.
Thank you, Professor Gauri. Uh, Warm welcome to all the parents and the faculty who joined. Thank you so much for taking out your time. Uh, we understand it's a weekend and everybody needs their own time. So we are very grateful that you managed to take this time out. I, of course, am not endowed with the flowery language that my colleague Gauri has, but I'll keep it simple. Um, in our times, if you remember, we didn't have the luxury of a lot of things when we went for higher education. We were more interested in just somehow getting an admission and getting good grades. Once that was done, we were left to ourselves. But times have changed, and we are in a environment now where it's very competitive, and every university aspires to make students the brand ambassadors, and we are no different. So we want to impart the best, the top of the line education, which will help our students, empower them to become next generation leaders in the field of media and become our brand ambassadors as well. So that is the philosophy and approach of our school. As you know, we have the backing of the Times Group brand. So there will be a lot of opportunities for students to interact, experiment, and explore with technology and see how these different media industries work before they leave the campus. So my only request to you as parents is that we must encourage this culture of at least experimenting with technology and request all your wards that even if you may not like something, at least try it out. There is no harm in trying it out. And once you've taken a dip of everything, then you can choose what you like and specialize in that. With that, I'll hand over to Professor Gauri. Thank
Thank you, Professor Sanjeev. And this is a right way to kind of begin that there's formality and this informality also that we have about engaging with our students, and we want to build this relationship together. So I would like to share a brief presentation uh, which takes you, through the philosophy at the school. And this will be very short and crisp, but it will give you an insight into how the programs get into effect and actually, the applied knowledge that the student has. So your ward may be admitted to one of these three courses. That is the Bachelor's of Journalism and Mass Communication, the BA in Film, TV, and Web Series, and the postgraduate diploma in Advertising and Digital Marketing. All these courses are extremely exclusive because the curricula that forms these programs, they have been, the curricula has been guided and designed with the help of some of the senior professionals in the industry. And the Times Group, as it is, since we are part of it, we also get so much access to the current trends, the use of new technologies, and the integration of technology into our programs and courses. And because we would like the students to be industry ready, it's very important that there is an ecosystem where rote learning or cramming is not part of the 3 years. The entire idea is to apply the knowledge that they receive in sessions in project-based learning. So at every step, whether it is an individual project or a group project, which are so critical in the media because you need a sense of team building. In every course, they will go through continuous assessment, where at every stage there will be some projects that will be asked for the student to create. And it just doesn't stop at that. The guidance and mentoring allows us to give feedback at every stage of their participation in what they are doing. At a short scale, or at, let's say, in a short vision, the student feels that they are doing individual assignments, and it's individual achievements as well. But as you look at it in the longer phase, these projects, this feedback, this continuous assessment gives shape to an entire portfolio. And a lot of our alumni, our students, current students, can see their journey as an evolution from when they came to us and as they move ahead. So, continuous evaluation is also, it dovetails with the learning outcomes that we have. So, we would want, the students to display their understanding of, let's say, use of equipment, use of technology, use of a specific web space, interacting and creating dialogues on, let's say, the internet, by blogs, vlogs, by podcasts. And learning outcomes are, in the current education system, one of the prime goals, the prime intentions of higher education. Students are exposed to so much knowledge at the preliminary stage that it's very important that they learn by doing and not just by learning or remembering. And last but not the least, this portfolio is extremely important for any young person who wants to enter the large space of the media environment, the journalism environment, because as they step in, it builds in a lot of confidence for a young person when they walk in with a portfolio. So this largely would be, the summary of how we engage with our programs. And to back this up, we may have mentioned this earlier as well in the earlier interactions you may have had with us. The faculty members at Times School of Media are a combination of practice and theory. So, as individuals ourselves, which includes people on the panel today, we believe in applying theoretical concepts to the world of practice. And with this little thought, I'd like to now hand it over to my colleague Gunjan, who's going to talk about skills.
Thank you, Gauri ma'am. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Time School of Media. This is our first interaction. My name is Gunjan Sharma. I'll be just taking through a lot of skills that Time School of Media imparts to our students. When it comes to BGMC course, there are 5 major skills that the students walk out with. First one is advertising and public relations. There are a lot of jobs in advertising and public relations. So we really train them hard. We train them rigorously in advertising and public relations skills, and also in events. Then video storytelling. Video storytelling is what a lot of journalism these days covers. This skill covers a lot of journalism jobs, all the digital um, journalism domain. Uh, Video storytelling skills, which includes editing, which includes shooting, which includes uh, other technical skills like writing, uh, all these things. It's covered in video storytelling. So a lot of students who have these skill set can apply for a digital journalism job. Podcasting is a hit these days. A lot of careers in podcasting. So this is a special skill that we are focusing on apart from social media. Social media, which also has a lot of jobs. So here it's a creative side of social media, how to use it for communication. So this is the key skill set which a BGMC programs offer. Then for BA film and television web series, there are very conventional skills. For example, direction, screenwriting, acting, cinematography, and editing. So these are our specialization. When a students walks with this degree, the student can choose any of these specialization within in during the graduation itself. And then comes uh, this is a specialized course. This is a PG course, PGD advertising and digital marketing. So as you can see, there are very specific skills. Advertising is still there. Then comes digital marketing, brand management, media planning, and campaign planning. So this involves a lot of analytic skills and a lot of skills on social media, plus a lot of statistical analysis as well. Right. Gauri ma'am, can we move one slide up?
Yes, this one?
Yeah. So these are the 3 program specific skill set that we impart. And we also have a lot of placement activities. So I'll request Dr. Shruti Jain to talk about placement. Shruti ma'am, please.
Thanks, Gunjan. Good morning, everybody. Before giving you a perspective on our placement and internship program, I'd like to explain how the whole thing comes together. So between what Gauri ma'am and Gunjan sir have explained, our vision at Times School of Media has always been to prepare our students for the industry, right? So whether it is that practical orientation, whether it is the theory, sort of foundation that we lay for them, whether it's the life projects, whether it's the internships in the industry, our expectation is that we will have empowered our students so effectively that irrespective of which industry they want to join, they are ready for it. So both the aptitude as well as the attitude is what we look at. We also look at a very other important pillar, which is called the integrity or the ethics pillar. The field that we are in, our ethics and integrity are obviously going to be the backbone of everything that the student will go to do. So if we are grooming the future talent of media, we're grooming the future of the world, so to speak, we have to ensure that it's an all-round development. With that in mind, we ensure that the students do internships during their summers so that they have a real idea of the industry. That being said, we're a nascent college. We've been here 6 years. We started out on a small scale, And with the first batch, of which we have a representative here with you who will speak to you later in the session, we experimented because we were new to the industry. We were new with this entire experiment. We sent them for 2 official trainings, right? So just after their first year in summers, we did an internship, and we repeated an internship with them in the final year, which is now the norm everywhere. That helped us establish our brand, that helped us get a lot of learnings from the industry, that helped our students get a very early idea of how much of a gap they have to cover if they really want to be in the industry. And dare I say, thanks to those experiments we did in the early part of our life, we are super successful with our internships and placements now. So while other undergraduate courses may not be able to, sort of help you find a place in the industry, because like Professor Sanjeev said at the beginning, an undergraduate is basically still a foundational course. But I'm happy to report that in the 6 years we've been here and the 4 batches, the 4th batch that's getting out this year, we've managed to be extremely successful in finding placements across the board. So be it advertising, be it PR, be it events, be it journalism, be it television, be it radio, whichever industry we have, our pillars are based on, we've managed to place our students. So some of the names that you see here on the slide are extremely representative. So for example, an Ogilvy or a McCann or a YNR, all of these are companies that are taking up our students. Even the creative hot shops like Bang in the Middle and AVDS, they are picking up our students. On the PR side, some of the biggest names in the industry, Adfactors, BCW, Archetype, Avian, they're all picking up our students. In fact, Avian has been our partner right from the beginning. From day one, we got them involved as industry speakers, interaction, giving live projects. They have been picking up our students from year 1 for internships and subsequently for placements. It's been an extremely gratifying experience, and I'm happy to report that our students today are empowered enough that we call them back. So for a recent couple of activities that we do, because we do a lot of practical work, they have come back as judges, they've come back as mentors, they've come back to talk to our students, to guide them, because now we have that scale, we have that life behind us where we can show that the circle is coming back. So with that, I will hand it over back to Gauri ma'am to continue. We can obviously discuss more about placements and internships later on in the question answer session.
Thank you, Shruti ma'am. And I think what you said also shows in the confidence that our students have when they interact with people from the industry, the kind of questions they ask, the kind of probing that they do. Thank you so much, ma'am. So now we'll ask Nikhil to please take us through life at campus. And like Shruti ma'am said, the overall, the wholesome development of a student, how does life at campus also plays in, and how do peer interactions shape an individual?
Thank you, Shruti ma'am. Thank you, Gauri ma'am. I just want to start with one thing. Yesterday, there were some students from 2019 batch, and they said something which, reminded me of what we were talking about. They said कि quote unquote कि इतने assignments मिलते हैं, इतने practical assignments मिलते हैं कि when they join in the industry, they know everything. Right? It is not new to them. This is what a student said. 2 students said yesterday. Right? So good morning. My name is Nikhil Pandey. I'm a professor of practice. I will be taking you through life at campus and well-being of the students. I joined Bennett University last year. And yes, for full disclosure, these are all real images. This is not from that. So the pool is real. The library is real. It's really fantastic. Right? We have lots of clubs where students are encouraged to join and participate. And this is really important. This gives them confidence, right? So you might be not good at speaking. You might be not good at writing, but faculty and other students, seniors, encourage each other to take part in these clubs. Could be radio, could be dance, could be writing, could be hackathons, things like this. And if you see on the top right, there's a CCTV. And right, every inch of the campus is covered with security and guards. And that's one of the highlights of this place. If you move to the next slide, one huge thing, if your student is studying on the, he's staying on the campus, she's staying on the campus, kapade kya honge, basic things. So there is a 24-hour ironing and washing clothes place where everything is automatic. That part is taken care of. And every 15th or 20th day, I've seen this, and this it's a nice thing to see. We have a huge park, an open area. Every 50th or 20th day, there is some event that is happening. In the evening, post the uni hours, you have students running dressed in, costumes, or carrying the guitar, carrying the radio equipment. Every student gets a chance to perform. Every student gets a chance to take out that creative person. And that's a huge deal, right? The next slide, ma'am, please. This is the, if you can see hotspot there, this place gives you Maggie, it gives you brownies and things like this. So this is this is a favorite place of not just students, but even the faculty. Um, this is the hostel room. There is an option of 2 students and 3 students. And obviously there's an ATM within the campus itself. Again, everything is secured. Every corner has a guard and there are cameras looking after the students. And then we have a lot of interaction with outside world. So let's say to keep the place buzzing, to get an insight from outside, right? From the outside world, we have Ranveer Singh coming onto campus. We have Rana who gives us tips on the music, on the movie world, what is happening, what is working. So it's a huge deal. Like if your student wants to go into film, TV, and web series, they give you insights. And it's a very, it's an open house where children can interact. The third is a rap artist. We are too old to know who this person is, so I'll ignore that, right? And the last part is the well-being of the student. Uh, there is a clinic, 24-hour clinic. There's a doctor from Fortis Apollo always present. But there are two things, and I'm saying this with all honesty to all the parents. This place really strikes out for me for two things. One is there are therapists that comes onto the campus every evening, and any child can go and take that facility, right? They can speak, they can discuss their issues, get answers. But there is something else that stands out, which is the mentor-mentee program, and it's official program. It is not like, it's just open in the air. It's an official document where faculty is given students, 10 students or 15 students, and there is a monthly meeting with the faculty and the students where they discuss things, where they bond over issues, where they find solutions. If they are going through some problem, they can sit with the faculty and discuss it out. And Shruti ma'am, Anvesha ma'am, Gunjan sir, Ramesh sir, right? All these people have seen where students are there, not just the current students, but the old students. They come, they're in touch, and they're finding solutions. And this to me is a huge, huge thing. So with that, I'll like to welcome one of our students, Riti, who passed out from Bennett University in 2022. Riti, if you could just please share some views, your point of view on Bennett University, that'll be great, and your experience.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for introducing me. Hi, everyone. So my name's Reeti, and I was part of the first batch at Bennett University for mass comm and journalism. So talking about my experience, I think I would also like to add that like one of the two key highlights from college for me were that we got to have a lot of on ground experiences. So all of our projects and everything was so some it almost felt like um, it was very practical, like I had to explain. And of course, during my college time, I did intern with a few places. Like Shruti ma'am also mentioned that there was a lot of emphasis on internships, and during that time I feel internships are like this one opportunity where you can test out a field which you think you might be interested in. So for me, I did intern with the Press Trust of India and the Hindu as a photojournalist, and that gave me a lot of insight as to how it would be to like work as a photojournalist. And then moving forward, after I graduated, I started working with the print as a video journalist to explore the video aspect of it, because that's also something that we learned in college. And one of the key highlights there while working at the print was that deadlines. So I feel like our professors were so strict about deadlines that I was more scared to submit my reports in college than at workplace. And I would see my other colleagues cribbing about that, oh my god, there's so much work pressure, like we need to keep up with the stories. And for me, it was nothing new, because that's the kind of culture that Bennett University had created, that you need to be on time, and you need to keep up with the news, and you have to be on time basically. And there's this whole like there's this whole integrity and these aspects to your work. And then moving forward, I wanted to explore the developmental sector. So now I'm working as a AV producer with Digital Green, which is also a very new experience for me. And I'm still in the progress of understanding that. And with every place, I feel like the only thing that sets me apart from probably other new graduates who are working in the same industry is that, for me, I feel like I had all of these experiences in college itself, because we had so many projects. There was just so much emphasis on projects. There was so much emphasis on working in groups, because in real time, if you see, you have to work in teams. You need to know how to like maneuver through working with different people with different capacities and different working styles. And I think that is something that these are like soft skills alongside the hard skills that I learned in college. So on an overall, I feel like definitely these things help me see myself an edge above the others, from like other kids who were in the similar industry from other colleges. And of course, I like professors, I think, are the gems that we got off college, because most of our professors, like even till date, it's like it wasn't just uh, like for those 3 years that this relationship was there. It's even post college that you're in contact with them, and there's constant guidance that you get from your professors. And one of the, I think, key plus points would also be that um, all of our professors are from the industry, so they very well know the inside outs of the industry, and you can always refer to them for any troubles that you have. So yeah, that's from my side.
Thank you so much, Riti. And for an institution, whenever an alumni joins in, it's a very special moment. So thank you so much for taking out the time and joining this session. I'd also request my colleague Ritvik to play two recorded testimonials that we have of alumni, and that will also give us a glimpse of the feeling that alumni have while they are, the experiences or experiential learning that they have while they are at campus. Please play. Yeah. The sound isn't there.
Ritvik, the sound is on there.
Do include sound when you play. Yeah.
Unmute your mic, no, Ritvik.
You'd have to restart the video. There's the three dots on the top right. You'd have to enable sound from there. Stop the video, restart. But before you do that, enable the sound from there.
Yeah.
Please.
Please reshare, and when you reshare, there's a toggle button for sound. Just switch on that toggle.
It says include computer sound, Ritvik.
No, sir. It's not
Exactly.
showing any side.
Exactly. On the top right will show that.
Nikhil, is it possible for you to share? Then,
No,
Yes, ma'am. I'll just give me 1 second.
yeah. Ritvik, you can let your screen go. We'll share from the other computer. And Riti, while Nikhil is sharing, just to mention that although I joined Times School of Media later, how interesting it is that got introduced to you because of your reaching out to faculty, at when you were working, and that whole network that got created, with the first batch. So these are exciting moments to share.
Definitely, ma'am.
Hello everyone, this is Aradhya Sehgal and I've just completed my graduation from the Times School of Media at Bennett University. And to say that my journey there was fulfilling is an understatement. Because right from the basics, the course design is something that's into practicality rather than armchair theorizing. And I think that in an industry like media, you need that. And why I say that with so much confidence is because after this amazing journey of 3 years, I feel confident enough to say that yes, I'm a media person because I've had the exposure of some really good internships, some even with the Times Group itself. I've had the exposure of some really great projects which gave me real insight into what was I supposed to do when I actually go on field in the industry, and that really helps you with some really great faculty and lovely guidance which helps you with everything. I think this course and this college is something that is worth going in for.
Hello, my name is Vidit Baya. I'm a student of batch 2020, and I'm currently working with Republic TV as a senior news writer covering international relations and geopolitics. If I'm to describe my life at Bennett University in one word, I will call it crazy, and that too on a very positive note. At the university, I was consistently pushed by a pool of faculty members to explore dimensions which were beyond my area of comfort, be it at my internship experience, which was with the Economic Times, or be it at various core course meetings or assignments that we used to do as part of our curriculum. Not only did I get the opportunity to represent the university at various national stages, including the IITs and the IIMs, the pool of faculty members who have decades of experience behind them, assisting them, nurtured me, cared for me, and educated me in such a way that I am industry ready. So if you're at Bennett, be assured you're in good hands. Thank you.
Thanks, Nikhil. And
Ma'am, I never had this confidence when I was 20 years old.
very true, very true. It's amazing to see them talk, even interact with us. And with this, I think we'd open the house for a question and answer session. We request all parents to, in case there's anything that you wish to inquire, please feel free. You have our faculty members have joined. I earlier had forgotten to mention, Professor Ramesh, and I acknowledge his presence right now. So, Manishi, you have a question to ask. Can I please request you
Uh,
to, yeah, unmute yourself?
sure. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Thank you. Let me first lower my hand. So I visited the college campus in the month of April around 23rd. It was just before Eid. It was a Friday, I guess, and it was closed. But unfortunately, I couldn't. I talked to one professor, Kunjan. I visited the campus with my brother, who is, as I was talking to you, Gauri, who's also a senior journalist and doing well for himself. So with that, we took a round of the campus, saw the facilities. It gave me some peace of mind. But yes, you showed me Rana Dugabati, who's from Hyderabad. I live in Hyderabad, and but on the visiting faculty front, who all do you have as the visiting faculty, if I may ask?
So, I would like to take the film programs and begin, and then I'm sure my colleagues will also pitch in for the journalism program. So, Manishi, the people who come as visiting faculty are actually tier one level of academicians or practitioners. For, let's say, the film program, we have alumni from the Film Institute, Pune, who come and train the students. I myself am an alum from there, and these faculty members, visiting faculty, are actually currently in the industry. they especially take out time, like a day or two in their week to engage with young audiences. So that is the kind of visiting level interaction. For some names, I can mention Sakshi Gulati, who's a script writer, has done many films. Pankaj Rakesh, who's a veteran cinematographer. These are two names I'm mentioning at the forum right now. And I'll request one of my colleagues to also, Shruti ma'am, please.
Yeah. Thanks, Manishji, for that question. We take great pride in the number of industry people we call in. In fact, sometimes the joke is that, with so much faculty, which is already from the industry, why do you even need people from outside? So let me start with the basics. The Times group is there for us, right? I mean, we just have to call up and a pantheon of stars lands up at our doorstep, be it Navika, be it, all the big names on TV, on radio. We've had all of those guys. They come here regularly. Even there, the SEO guys, some of the topmost professionals in this country who are obviously guiding and leading the whole process of digital technology have landed up here and they teach us regularly. In fact, some of the courses are anchored entirely by the Times staff, whether it is the business of radio, TV, print, etc. So that, of course, I mean, it's in-house. I mean, that has to be there as an advantage. But we don't limit ourselves just to that. So whether it's journalism, whether it's advertising, whether it's PR, whether it's events, we call in a pantheon of people from outside. We've had CEOs, directors, board members. I can name a whole lot of people. We can provide you the list who come here regularly as guest faculty, right? So when you say visiting faculty in the technical term, it means that they anchor an entire course. Our colleges, our universities' prototype model is not that. We have internal staff who anchors the program, but we call in people from outside to teach. So you will have, for example, Nitin Mantri, who's the CEO of Group CEO of the Avian Group. We've had Samir Kapoor, who's the board of director on Ad Factors. We've had lots of people from Archetype and other PR agencies. I've had people from Ogilvy, from Wayanad, from Mudra, all of these people coming in for their exposure. I've had the CEO, COO of Madison Media. We've brought them here. So media planning classes were anchored by them. So our interventions are always meant to demonstrate how the industry operates, to show the students how there is very little gap in the way we are approaching the program. And then, of course, the exposure, which also results in traction later on with internships and jobs. So I hope we've answered your question and reassured you about the interaction we have with the industry.
Yeah. Thank you, Shruti ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I can see some hands that are raised in digitally and the others that are raised in the video. Let me begin by asking Ms. Gupta, if you could ask your question, and then we'll move to Amitabh ji.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. First of all, ma'am, please accept my sincere congratulations to Times of India Group. Definitely, ma'am, I'm more than happy to see the faculty members, the amount of learning which I am, as a parent, I'm ensured that my child is going to get by joining Bennett University. She is into, she's trying for other institutes as well. But to be very much honest with it, I'm really more than convinced. I can see pomp and show, a media person. I myself am from media. I was the news reader with Dainik Bhaskar. I was a voiceover artist over there. So, ma'am, my concern is, I will not take much time of yours and others. Just one question, ma'am. I am concerned about the placement aspect. Please answer that query, ma'am. The average package. And, that much Bennett is ensuring the average. That's it. The placement aspect, ma'am.
I'm going to hand over that question to Shruti ma'am.
Oh,
hi, ma'am. Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Are you getting the Anil Gupta name there? आपका नाम क्या है, ma'am?
Sonal Gupta.
सोनल जी. सोनल जी, बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन आपने पूछा. आपकी बेटी अंडर ग्रेजुएट कोर्स के लिए, बच्चा अंडर ग्रेजुएट के लिए आ रहा है या पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट के लिए?
अंडर ग्रेजुएट, मैम.
अंडर ग्रेजुएट के लिए. तो जैसा मैं पहले भी कह रही थी कि अंडर ग्रेजुएट कोर्स पे गारंटीड जॉब्स ऑफर करना कोई यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं करेगी, क्योंकि हम चाहते ही हैं कि बच्चे आगे पढ़ें, अपना करियर सॉलिड बनाएं, फिर उसके ऊपर उड़ना शुरू करें. पर आज की दुनिया बदल चुकी है, बच्चे अलग तरीके से सोचते हैं, वो हमारा उतना नहीं सुनते हैं. पेरेंट्स की तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं सुनना चाहते आजकल बच्चे. तो अगर आप बोलेंगे राइट जाना है तो वो जाएंगे लेफ्ट. तो उसी सिलसिले में हम लोगों ने बहुत ही रोबस्ट अपना प्लेसमेंट प्रोग्राम कोशिश की है बनाने की। जैसा मैं कह रही थी, शुरू में हमने बहुत एक्सपेरिमेंट्स किए जिससे कि हमारा नाम बाहर पहुंचे और हमारे बच्चों की जो शान है, जो शौकत है, जो उनकी निपुणता है अपने सब्जेक्ट में, जो हम उनको प्रोफिशिएंसी प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, वो इंडस्ट्री को कैसे पता चलेगी। बोलते ना, नहीं तो अगर घर में बैठा रहेगा बच्चा तो कैसे पता चलेगा। तो ये इंटर्नशिप्स हम इसी के लिए करवाते हैं। In fact, I'll be very happy to report to you that while there is only one formal internship that the child is supposed to have completed during the undergraduate program, which we are now doing in the final semester as a specialization. तो बच्चा अपना स्पेशलाइजेशन चूजता है, उसमें अपना कैपस्टोन भी करता है, अपना स्पेशलाइजेशन प्रोजेक्ट करता है और इंटर्नशिप भी करता है. So after 5 semesters, they have decided what they want to get into, and we then put an entire semester with them on that. Having said that, as we speak in the summers that are going on, the second year batch, I have almost 20-25 students doing informal internships because they're so sort of intrigued and in awe of the work that we have showed them that the industry does, that they are dying to be there. So even though it's not part of the curriculum, it's not part of our KRAs to ensure that there are internships provided, we go out of our way and we ensure, चलो बच्चा करना चाहता है, आजकल के बच्चे हैं, निकलना चाहते हैं, गर्मी की छुट्टियों में घर पे नहीं बैठना चाहते, we send them out. So उसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि जो ये ट्रैक्शन बाद में जॉब्स का आ रहा है, बहुत अच्छा आ रहा है. अब आप अगर नौकरी पूछेंगी तो obviously we can't compete with the engineering crowd, right? Engineers will get anywhere from 10 lakhs to 50 lakhs to a crore. But that's because that industry is based differently. हमारी जो इंडस्ट्री है, मीडिया इंडस्ट्री है या मार्केटिंग इंडस्ट्री है या एडवर्टाइजिंग या पीआर, जो स्टार्टिंग लेवल जो सैलरीज हैं, there are anywhere from 3 lakhs to 7 lakhs. Some of the digital marketing jobs are in the 5 to 8 lakh region, right? And I'm talking of annual figures. And obviously these are not in our hands. And you will also realize that every year the environment outside is different. So when the pandemic was going on, for example, नौकरियां नहीं थी. तो अगर हम प्रॉमिस भी करते आपको तो नौकरी नहीं दिला सकते थे बच्चों को, पर हमारे बच्चों ने फिर भी उसके बावजूद नौकरियां हासिल की हैं in every batch. So the 2 years of pandemic, when everybody was sitting at home and nobody was being able to offer jobs, we ensured that our kids got jobs. So that is what our attempt is. हम commit आपको undergraduate level पे written में नहीं देंगे कि आपके बच्चे को हम इतने की सैलरी और इतने की जॉब दिलाएंगे, पर हमारी चेष्टा यही रहती है कि बच्चा इतना अच्छे से पढ़ जाए, इतना एक्सपीरियंस हो कि इंडस्ट्री खुद उसको उठाएगी आगे.
Yeah. I'm getting it. You're focusing on the learning.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think
let me give you the
Ramesh,
latest numbers
yeah,
of
sir.
2023. Sorry, Gauri ma'am. Just giving the latest numbers. So the number of companies that visited the campus was 76, and the number of placements offered 83, and the minimum salary that was offered was 4 lakhs per annum. That's the latest numbers we have got. And please, Ramesh sir, if you could add.
Yeah, Ramesh sir, if you'd like to add something.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Yeah, I'd like to. Thank you. Out of how many folks? Sorry.
Yeah, please, Ramesh sir, go ahead.
May I speak now? Yeah, thank you, professors, and thank you, parents, for having me here. Okay, I want to add to what Shruti ma'am said. You see, in addition to the way we teach at the university, in the classroom, and in the laboratories, and in addition to the guest faculties that we have, see, some of our guest speakers have been people from a range of places. Like we had in early 2018, Riti will bear me out on it, Swati Maliwal. I had invited her to talk about women's safety in Delhi NCR. So the children got a whole new perspective on what is going on the roads of Delhi NCR. It's not just what appears in the media, but actually, because Swati has been an activist alongside being the chief of the Delhi Commission for Women. And we had once a professor of history whose subject is partition, but an interest area is child labor. She's written something on child labor. Professor Sucheta Mahajan. She's come here. So even these guest lectures, which happen once in a while, and Shruti ma'am, I always liked one person she had invited, Rajkumar Jha from the field of advertising. I remember each and everything he said in his guest lecture. So all this, widens the horizons of the undergraduate kid. The kid is technically undergraduate, but the child, when she graduates, she has so much in her that the industry laps her up. So I would say, make your child among the best candidates in the interview she's going to face. Okay. And that's all any institution can do, as even Shruti ma'am said. Okay. Like many people go to Oxford, but only some, like Dr. Manmohan Singh, have a chair in their name. There was one guy called Dhiren Bhagat, he used to be very noisy and very, rabble rouser. He was a failure. He had failed. So everyone who goes to Oxford is not perforce a Manmohan Singh. So that way, let's be realistic. We make your child, we give your child all the inputs to make her the best. And even for mental well-being, this mentoring that Professor Nikhil was talking about, this mentoring is taken seriously. It's part of UGC guidelines, but we take it a step further. We prod the children to come out of their shells and to interact with people in the group activities. Thank you. That's for now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ramesh, sir. I'd
Thank
now
you, Ramesh, sir.
request Mr. Amitabh to ask his question, please.
Yeah. Hello, everybody, and I thank you all for I think it's a very I think professional way of what Bennett University has approached all the students. I think this is a great step. I really appreciate that. I have two specific questions. One is that what is the total number of students in BGMC you're going to take? Like, are there going to be multiple sections or one class, and how many students there? And secondly, uh, BGMC, many universities do a 4-year program. And what I have come to know with little knowledge is that because they want to meet the international standards, so once you do 4 years, you don't have to do post graduation, you automatically qualify. But here in Bennett, I think we are doing a 3 years program. So just two clarifications on this.
Okay. Gunjan, would you like to respond to that, or Sanjeev, sir?
Shall I take it?
Please do.
Um, I'll do the numbers. I'm sure Gunjan will give you. I don't have the exact numbers, but I can. What I'll do is I'll answer part 2 first, and then request Gunjan to answer part 1. So yes, we have the National Education Policy 2020, which basically spells out very clearly that we should all move to a 4-year program, 3 years for a bachelor's degree, and the 4th year for a honors degree or degree by research. That is something that we are working on, and right now there are only about 100 odd universities that have implemented the 4-year program. We are ready with the plan, but it's a decision that the university has to take. So right now what we're doing is that we are offering students the option of doing a normal undergraduate degree or choosing an honors degree. And going forward, from next year or whenever the university decides, we already have a plan in place where people will have the option of either doing an undergrad degree in 3 years and moving on, or doing an undergrad degree with an honors or a research in 4 years and then move on. So that plan is already in place. The framework is ready. It's just a matter of when the university decides to move ahead with it. So a lot of big universities are still waiting. Maybe in a year or so they'll move to the 4-year plan. But as far as we at Times School of Media at Bennett University are concerned, we have the plan ready. We're just waiting for the university to give us a go ahead.
Okay.
And
Right,
Gunjan, would
sir.
you like to? Yeah.
Right. So, sir, about the class size, it is 150 students in one class. They are further divided into two sections, A and B, and each section is further divided for practicals, for lab practicals, into 3 groups. We call them MC 1, 2, 3. So groups in both the section would be MC 1 to till 6. So 6 groups across 2 sections for one class.
So there are going to be
And
total of 300 students, if I'm correct. 150 section 1, 150 section
No, sir. 150 total, 75
okay,
each.
Okay.
And each group, Amitabh ji, is further mentored by one particular faculty. So it gets funneled into a process of individual interaction and guidance.
Fine. Thank you for it.
Thank you so much for the question, sir. Can I please request Deepak ji to ask his question? Can I also request for those who ask the question to lower their hand digitally so that we know who all are in the waiting?
Yeah. Hi, ma'am. This is Dimple's mother on this side, Vaishali. and it's great to be a part of Times Group. And I would like to have, I have certain queries. The other day, there was a faculty-student interaction a few days back, and we got to know we have some learned faculties with us from great industry exposure, which is an insight into what the children are going to learn in coming days. But as I probed further, I could see that the faculties are pretty new to the organization. So, some faculties have joined maybe probably a year back, probably 6 months back. So my only concern lies here that I hope there won't be any lags in between the sessions as it comes to faculties, because me myself, I also belong to education industry, and to be very honest and frank, there is a lot of switchover from one organization to the other, where I, as an educator, I know that it is a setback and a lag for the children. So as a parent, I don't want for that to happen to my child. So this is one primary concern I have, although I know I'm getting associated with one of the biggest brands in the industry, but yet the concern is there.
Dimpleji, we understood what you're asking. Shruti ma'am, would you like to comment on that?
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am, for that question. I'm so glad that there are people here who value people with experience. क्योंकि industry में बहुत कम होने लगा है. So to reassure you, ma'am, a lot of us are there here from before the department started. So for example, myself, Ramesh sir, we started this department. And there are several of us you don't see here today because every forum we don't call in the entire sort of plethora of our faculty. So let me reassure you that the size of the department and the faculty has expanded along with the expansion in the numbers that we have been taking in every year. तो जब डिपार्टमेंट शुरू हुआ था हमारे पास 6-7 फैकल्टी थी जिसमें से आज 6 फैकल्टी हैं अभी भी, right? And then every year when a new batch joins, obviously you need more staff. Like I explained earlier, our model is not कि आप रखो थोड़े staff और बाकी सारा सिर्फ बाहर के लोगों को ये आने जाने का करते रहो कि एक अभी कोई एंकर कर रहा है कोर्स, फिर कोई दूसरा टीचर आके एंकर कर रहा है, गेस्ट फैकल्टीज कर रही हैं. हम वो वाला मॉडल नहीं फॉलो करते हैं. सो जैसे जैसे हमारा स्कूल बढ़ा, तो जैसे पहला बैच था, फिर दूसरा बैच आया, फिर हमने प्रोग्राम्स ऐड किए, फिर हमने पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम ऐड किए, तो हमने फैकल्टी ऐड की है. टुडे आई एम हैप्पी टू रिपोर्ट दैट वी आर अराउंड 29 full-time faculty members, and we have a technical staff of around 7-8 people because we have studios and labs and all of that. We need that support. So obviously उसमें कुछ faculty 1 साल पुरानी होगी, कुछ 2 साल पुरानी होगी, कोई 3 साल होगी, पर हम 6 साल पुराने भी हैं. आप बिल्कुल चिंता न करें. There is no lag. In fact, we have very robust handover systems. If at all there is a program that passes on from one faculty to another for the next batch, we sit down and we have meetings on this is what we did right, this is what we learned, this was an example of a best practice, this is something that probably needs more improvement on, this is probably a gap area. We do those hand holding, and as a group when we teach, there are many subjects that are taught by a group of teachers. So it's a mix of people like Gunjan had just explained, every batch broken up into sections, broken up into further groups. So there are multiple teachers who come together to teach courses as well. उनके बीच में भी synchronicity बहुत ज़्यादा है. They sit down together, they plan their courses. We even calibrate, we moderate how the teaching is going through, whether one batch and one section, one group is having the exact same learning and exposure that the others are having. So our entire time and our entire day and nights are spent in ensuring that faculty की वजह से कोई आपको problem नहीं होगी. In fact, we are the biggest strength that we bring to the table.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That convinces me a lot. One more query I had, that these days when children are going undergrad courses and they are doing postgrad, and as someone also queried about placements. So generally what happens when students are into their college phases, first and second year are generally into their own fairy tale. They they carry them
La La
that
Land.
yeah, they are into some picture they have in their mind about colleges and everything. But finally, when they come to the third year and when it's time for placement, their entire tenure of college is very different when they land up into the industry and get into professional exposure. So I hope there won't be any gaps or anything that would be very different from the real world, and that would be very different what the children are going to do in the college duration. There will definitely be
Dimpleji, I'm sorry.
a
Yeah, Dimpleji, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we've got the gist of the question, and primarily this parent interaction, this is exactly what we were trying to say throughout the session, that because we believe in the practice, because our umbrella is, a media giant by itself, please don't worry on this count. Every day, they will be handling something that they'll do in their real life. So, इसलिए I'm so sorry for kind of interrupting in your question, but please be assured, and that's exactly what we've been mentioning. And therefore, maybe I'll move to the next question if you're okay with that.
Actually, Gauri, let me just add to that. मैम, हम हिंदी में कहावत है, पढ़े लिखे को फारसी क्या और हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या. अभी आप रीति अग्रवाल से मिली थी, हमारी ये लाइव आई थी, वो इंडस्ट्री में ही हैं और वो आपको यही बता रही थी कि हमने इतना उनको माजा था कि वहां जाके उनको फर्क ही नहीं पता चला कि मैं कॉलेज में हूँ कि इंडस्ट्री में. तो आप जितने भी हमारे बच्चों से मिलेंगी, मैं आपसे आग्रह करूंगी कि आप सोशल मीडिया पर भी आप इंटरेक्ट करिए. हमारे बच्चे आपको मिल जाएंगे. इनफैक्ट a lot of the other students we wanted to call today are not here because they're working. Even on a Saturday they're busy, advertising में हैं, PR में हैं, events में हैं, सब काम कर रहे हैं. आप reach out करिए, आप उनसे खुद बात करिए, आप उनको खुद उनसे समझिए. The one thing we can never be accused of is we do not train our students well enough, and that there will be a gap between what we do and what the industry does. So that is something we can say very confidently. Having said that, बाकी आपके बच्चे के हाथ में भी है. हम बच्चे के अंदर घुस के उसका काम नहीं कर सकते. अगर आपका बच्चा मोटिवेटेड है, आपका बच्चा पढ़ना चाहता है, आपका बच्चा अगर मोटिवेटेड नहीं भी है, हम कोशिश पूरी करते हैं कि हर बच्चे को मेन स्ट्रीम से जोड़ें और हर बच्चे को प्रोफेशनली रेडी बना के जोड़ें. So industry readiness is our prime motivator, is our prime objective, is our vision. So
and
if
Shruti,
you are
maybe
with us, we will be able to do it.
And Shruti, maybe when Dimpleji gets her daughter to campus, maybe she can meet us once again in person, and that will also, solve a lot of the inquiry in itself. Is that okay, Dimpleji?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so
All
much.
Right. Thank you so much for those wonderful questions. Can I please ask Sudiksha Dasji to ask his question? Mr. Das?
Can you able to hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
This is Satyajit here. I'm from Bangalore. I am Sudiksha's father.
Okay.
So, first of all, full credit goes to you to organize this platform for an interaction. Thank you very much. I have not seen a lot of people going from South to your university. So I have a basic question, because I am not aware of what's happening in that part of the north part of the world with your university. So my question basic is that you have 150 students. How do you give a fair chance of giving internship in the industry? How do you plan out that? I would like to have a little bit more insight of that.
Okay, I'll take that as well because internships and placements is broadly what I'm discussing here today. Thank you, sir, for your Mr. Das, for your question. Let me first address the first half of your question, which is about the north-south issue, and then I'll come to the placement or the internship part. So a very interesting anecdote that I'd like to share with you is that when this university started, it started with around 400 odd students in the engineering field. And guess what? They were all from South India. We did not have a single student from North India in engineering when this university started out. As we speak, at least 50% of our students, if not more, are coming from other parts of the country, especially south of India. We are also very happy to have people from West India, from East India, from the Northeast. So it's a very diverse representation. Our marketing teams do a fantastic job. Our admissions team is doing a fantastic job. As we speak, every year we have sessions across the country. The first 2-3 years we used to fly all over the country, even as faculty, to go and and evangelize and talk about what we are offering, because of which we get a huge traction. Now, maybe the numbers in media may not be as strong in South India, but we have, like I said, between West, East, North, South, we have a great diversity. So what we ensure when we are offering internships is we first float out a Google form. We ask you what is your area of interest and which is the city you would like to be in, and we ask you to give us 3 options. Then what we do is when we reach out to the industry, we tell them we have so many students who want to go to a Bangalore or a Hyderabad or a Chennai. And then we try our level best to ensure that that media outfit, if they have a vacancy or an opportunity in that particular city, we provide it to them. And then, like I keep telling you again and again, we have the Times Group backing us. The Times Group exists in every nook and corner of this country. So when a student has to go to a Mofussil town, we have the option of providing him either a stringer opportunity or a bureau opportunity in one of the desks that operate across this country. We've had students going to Indore, we've had students going to Patna, we've had students going to all kinds of places because we have the backing of the Times Group as well. And like I said, this is our third fallback. We ourselves, when we work, whether it's the ad agencies, PR agencies, in fact, 2 days back, a couple of our students were in Bangalore doing an event, organizing an event in Bangalore, right? So we are region agnostic. We do not try and just focus on one particular region, or we don't just have strengths in one region. Thanks to the group, thanks to the faculty in the university who comes from all over the industry, we are able to provide that. Having said that, like I said, we cannot force an organization to compulsorily place somebody where there is no opportunity. So I'm an ad agency which has a vacancy in Chennai, or I'm a PR agency which has a vacancy in Chennai, we've placed students there as well. In fact, our last year's one of the top 10 students, she's sitting in Chennai as we speak, and she, by the way, is from Orissa. So she's from Orissa. She chose to go and work in Chennai. We placed her in Chennai, and she's doing a fantastic job. There are some students who are North Indians but don't want to live in North India. So as we speak, there are some students working in Bombay, somebody's working in Bangalore. So we also have people placed in Hyderabad. Just this 2020 batch, which is passing out, one of the students wanted a Hyderabad placement. We've managed to get them a Hyderabad placement in PR over there. So we try our best, sir. The rest we leave to God, and we leave to the opportunities and the environment. COVID आता है, कभी pandemic आता है, कभी restrictions आते हैं, कभी tsunami आ जाएगा, वो हमारे हाथ में नहीं है. So those years, obviously there is no guarantees of anything. Otherwise, we try our best.
Fair enough. Thank you. And I had one more allied question to this. This internship are virtual or you provide in-house?
No. So in-house का मतलब ये होता है कि आपने उनको टाइम्स ग्रुप में ही दे दिया या उनको अपने बेनेट यूनिवर्सिटी में करा दिया. So कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल नहीं वो क्रैक कर पाए, जैसा रमेश सर ने पहले कहा था कि भाई हम इंटरव्यू के लिए तैयार कर सकते हैं. अब वहां जाके बच्चा अगर नहीं परफॉर्म कर पाया, नहीं सिलेक्शन हुआ, तो आप क्या करेंगे? तो ऐसे कुछ अगर बच्चे कभी होते हैं जिनका कहीं नहीं हो पाया, 4-5 इंटरव्यूज दिए, क्लियर नहीं किया, तो हम एक बैकअप ऑप्शन रखते हैं कि चलो बीयू में मार्केटिंग टीम में उनका करा देंगे. पर हमारा जो पीजी प्रोग्राम है उसमें हमारी मार्केटिंग टीम कम्स आउट ऑफ देयर वे टू एंश्योर दैट द पीजी किड्स गेट अ जॉब. So so both our last 2 batches, students have been placed there. This batch, the PG students are doing internship there because they have become very popular. It's an advertising and marketing program. So internships are dependent on the university or they're dependent on the organization. अब organization क्या, अगर work from home चल रहा है तो बच्चे को work from home मिल जाता है. कुछ organizations for today, for example, in the last 2 years, they are doing hybrid. तो 2 दिन वो घर से काम करते हैं, 3 दिन ऑफिस जाते हैं. So it all depends on what is the practice that particular company is following for that particular period. We don't pre-decide that. We attach them to an organization. We have a protocol we follow. बच्चों को reports देनी होती है, हमें joining report देनी होती है, mid report देनी होती है, end report देनी होती है. फिर एक उन्हें full fledged अपना एक फाइल सबमिट करनी होती है कि उन्होंने क्या काम किया. फिर एक वाइवा बैठता है जिसमें एक बड़ा पैनल बैठता है जो उनसे क्वेश्चंस पूछता है. So that's our rigor for internship. It's not कि आपने लगा दिया छोड़ दिया बच्चे को, वो कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है हमारी बला से. और वहां पर जो उनका सुपरवाइजर होता है उनको एक फीडबैक फॉर्म दिया जाता है बच्चे के, जो वो फिल करके हमें भेजते हैं. जब तक वो हमारे पास नहीं आते हम किसी चीज पे विश्वास नहीं करते. So we can bring in the rigor. The hard work has to be put in by your child. The presentation has to be of your child. Cracking the opportunity has to be of your child. And then they have to follow their rigor, like I said. So we've had
Thanks a
students,
ton.
one student was sitting in Goa and working in Delhi. It works out.
Thank you,
Okay.
Shruti ma'am. That was very insightful, and I hope that's kind of answered your query, Mr. Das.
Yeah, very well, very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we request Mr. Mandeep Singh to pose his question, please?
Hi. So, am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay. So, I think Mr. Nikhil mentioned that you had 76 companies come in for recruitment, and I think they were for media students, right? So, if they were, and then they offered 83 placements. So, out of a batch of 150 students, if 83 were placed, it's around 55% placement record. So is that the correct figure I'm looking at, or is it something else?
Nikhil.
So while Nikhil is going through the figures, let me just answer that question in a different way. ये MBA स्कूल नहीं है सर जो हम प्लेसमेंट ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड रखते हैं और कन्वर्जन्स देखते हैं. जैसे मैंने पहले भी एक्सप्लेन किया था, ये एक अंडर ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम है. अंडर ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम पर हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव प्लेसमेंट नहीं है, हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव है आपको फ्यूचर के लिए तैयार करना. तो 90% of the students when they join, they first come in with the ambition of wanting to do a masters. This 50, 55, 60 जो भी परसेंटेज पहुंचेगी, जो निखिल कंफर्म करेंगे, वो उसके बावजूद आती है कि हमारे काफी सारे बच्चे ऑब्वियसली अंडर ग्रेजुएशन के बाद हम चाहते हैं कि वो जाके एक मास्टर्स करें, और हमें उनको कोई फोर्स नहीं करता कि वो यहाँ से मास्टर्स करें. जहां पर भी जाएं, इनफैक्ट मोस्ट ऑफ आवर किड्स गो अब्रॉड फॉर master's programs. I was just talking to Riti at the beginning of this. Her batch, almost 10 students are abroad studying. Some of them choose to do 2 years of work and then go abroad to study. तो ये बच्चे के ऊपर, उनकी फैमिली के ऊपर, उनके फ्यूचर के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. हम as of now we are not keeping a track of percentage sort of converted, because that's not our KRA. Our KRA is 100% internship, which we guarantee. For the first 2 batches, it was 2 internships. We did 100% internships. That was our problem. Even for the students now coming in, 100% internship, hum guarantee karte hain. Placement, we help you. We get you our contacts. We put you through the process. In fact, this batch, we started a new practice. We were noticing over the years कि बच्चे placement के लिए तैयार नहीं हैं. उनको ना CV बनाना आता है, ना इंटरव्यू में पार्टिसिपेट करना आता है. तो हमने एक प्लेसमेंट प्रिपेयर्डनेस वीक ऑर्गेनाइज किया था फाइनल ईयर के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, जहां एक हफ्ता वी कॉल्ड इन इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स, वी कॉल्ड इन ट्रेनर्स फ्रॉम आउटसाइड, जिन्होंने एक हफ्ता सिर्फ यही काम किया कि आपके बच्चे को CV लिखना सिखाया, उनको इंटरव्यूज में कैसे बैठते हैं, डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशंस को कैसे टैकल करते हैं, वो सब करना सिखाया. तो एज ए फैकल्टी जो हम कर सकते थे एट इंडिविजुअल लेवल विद स्टूडेंट्स, तो हम करते ही थे. इस बार एज एन इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज्ड एफर्ट वी एडेड दैट. So we have a very robust placement cell in the university, which is outside of the department. They look after placements, they look after internships. But however, in our department, we don't completely depend on them. We partner with them so that we can work together. So
and just to add to that, Shruti ma'am, sorry, just to add to that, in higher education, even at the, like you mentioned, undergrads, a lot of students may want to do, let's say, move internationally.
Sorry, ma'am.
To do a master. Numbers are also indicating, this movement to career progression or education progression towards another level of learning. Can I at this stage also request Dr. Anvesha, if she wants to add something to this conversation, can I please request her to share her thoughts with the audience?
Yeah, most of our students, especially after graduation, they plan to work for 6-7 months, because if you look at higher education, they prefer students who have some 6-7 months of experience, especially good colleges. And a lot of our students do move out. So this percentage cannot be a very short percentage of how many students get placed, because like Shruti ma'am said, a lot of our students do plan to study, and their parents also want them to study, and they generally move out because all of us keep on writing letters of recommendation, especially during the admission season. So that is how our students function.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
there is
thank you.
just want to add 2 bits here. We are still in the
Yeah.
session. It's May mein exams khatam hue and we are in June.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of time. There are 5 students, and Shruti ma'am would know, she knows this. There are 5 students who are sitting for UPSC exams right now. There are about 15, 20 who are going to UK for masters. They've already got their admission. They asked all of us here, including Professor Ramesh, Shruti ma'am, Anvesha ma'am, about where should they apply and all that. So this is the extent of the mentor-mentee
Yes.
relationship,
Yes.
right? So many of them are
We
going to
also give
UK right
letters
now.
of
And
recommendation
Nikhil,
for these courses.
yes,
LORs
and
bhi hum hi
Nikhil,
dete
one
hain.
of them is going to New York Film Academy. Let me assure you, because I
Yes,
gave that
yeah.
LOR. So multiple, even the movement is towards all sides of the media, 360-degree kind of trajectory, one would say. We have the last question from Mr. Parang, and I request him to please pose his question.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Insightful session, certainly. I'm Karan Parmeshwar, retired from the Indian Army, now working in the corporate sector. My son has joined taken admission in the bachelor's in the media and in journalism and media communication. So I had a couple of questions. In fact, one of them may not be a question, but I think while the facilities were being shown, it's either that I missed or you missed. I have not seen any sports facilities apart from swimming. I assume they are there. I assume very much assume they are there, like basketball and all. I'm
Thank
pretty
you
sure.
so
Sir, I
much
can
for
tell you with
asking this question. When we were making
Sir,
the
I'll
presentation, Nikhil had said, I have to put slides of the sports facility. And, the first time I walked in, my eyes were, I was smitten in awe of the sports facility at Bennett. Nikhil, would you like to add to that?
Sir, I
And
play
Anvesha, if you want
Dean
to add
sir.
some past experience.
Dean
Yeah.
sir is here, but let me assure you, I play TT and badminton in the afternoon after teaching,
Oh, wonderful.
after 4:35.
Yeah.
And
Not just that,
Professor Anubhav
Nikhil.
is also here.
Miss India का national sports round हमारे campus पर होता है because
Yeah.
we have one of the best facilities.
Right.
The entire Times group does their sports events in our university. So, sir, I think I would request you please land up at our university once. If you've not seen the videos, we are very proud of our sports facility and we show off, and we are always showing it off. Please come and see it. All our visitors, all our industry people, when they come, they say, हमारे time पे ऐसी facilities क्यों नहीं थी? काश हम आज बच्चे होते.
So there is
Ma'am,
cricket.
There is
also,
somebody, yeah, sorry, please.
There is cricket,
just to add,
badminton,
sorry,
TT. Sorry.
just to add, sir, that not just do we have sports facilities, we also have 2 TT champions in the School of Media, Nikhil and Dr. Anubhav. Both have just recently won the tournament that was organized. So I think we've heard Nikhil speak, but Anubhav is hiding somewhere.
Fantastic to
Anubhav,
hear
would you
that.
like to talk about your experience as faculty playing sports?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, as Professor Sanjeev just mentioned, we have wonderful sports facilities at Bennett University, and specifically table tennis and swimming pool, cricket, everything you name it, we have it. So it's a wonderful thing. And students in the evening after the classes, once they're done with the lectures and all, certainly they go play basketball, table tennis, cricket, and all. And we do have matches among departments, among schools. So that's one way, where sort of people sort of gel, they mix, and students also get a chance to know their faculty. Apart from the lecture house, they also meet them in sports complex. So yeah,
We
that's
also
really
have
good.
something called Sportathon, which is a 3-day event that the university organizes, where universities across the world and across the country also participate. So we do have a good sports facility, sir.
So yeah, that's sort of
Yeah, Manishi, please go ahead. We'll consider that the last question of the session today, because I'm sure all of you may also want to, utilize your Saturday and other things. Yeah, please.
I've had one more. I had one more question.
I'll stop. I'll push लीजिए. I'll stop. I'll push you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Manish. I hadn't finished my question, so I just wanted to. I was curious to know. So
that's why I apologize.
yeah, no. Thank you so much for that. So I've also heard Professor Nikhil saying that the third one is a rapper, and we are out of generation to actually name him. I share your sentiment. I share your sentiment there, Professor Nikhil. But my son is a rapper himself. He writes, composes, and publishes his own songs. He's already published some songs on Spotify, and also he was very keen to know. He was very excited when we offered him as a university as a Bennett. He had already done his research, and he said, "You have some recording studio where he can record his songs, and he can publish them." So I just wanted to understand if it's okay that students make use of the facility as a co-curricular and extracurricular activity, because he's very passionate about his music.
Sir, it'll
So
be an
I
issue if
just
he
wanted.
doesn't use it.
We have other
Gunjan sir,
students
Gunjan sir, would you
also.
like to
Gunjan
take that
can.
question?
Gunjan sir,
Gunjan
please
sir,
answer.
please.
Sir, he'll have to use it. Doesn't, I mean, recording studios are there for the students to use. They book the slot
Yeah.
and it is immediately given to them for use. And also there's
Fantastic.
this recordist who help them. So that's the everyday
Fantastic.
practice. In fact, they come up with a Sounds of Bennett, this radio thing where they produce a lot of program every week in, week out. There's a lot of
Fantastic.
recording. There are a lot of jam sessions. I'll post few videos of Sounds
Absolutely.
of Bennett recordings and all those in the WhatsApp group, plus sports facility videos. So you'll have some idea.
Sure.
We
No,
also
And you
have a
can
few more
actually
rapper
utilize.
students.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
We
Anvisha,
also
please.
have we have a lot of other rapper students as well. Like Omji was a very good rapper. We had other students from other batch also. So there's a small club of these students who rap. So I'm sure your son will find a group to basically go ahead with
Ma'am,
his
I'm sure
area of interest.
he knows already. Knowing how much media
Yes.
exposure these guys have, I'm sure he knows already. But we try to be hands-on, ma'am, as parents, as much as we can, given our schedules and all. But we had researched the internet and we had seen those elaborate sports facilities and all. And I was a little surprised not to see it in the presentation, which is why I brought up that point. Your assurances give me put me at ease. And thank you so much. Academics, I'm sure. I see a lot of capable heads here who have put in their minds and taken the pains to organize this session today. I'm very sure my son is in good hands in terms of academics. Co-curricular is something I'm very keen on as an army man. So we participate in a lot of co-curricular activities. So I was keen. My son also does that. Uh, this small chat puts me to ease. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Param, and please ask your ward to also reach out to Anvesha, because when we have our orientation sessions, the newcomers get a lot of chance to display their talent. So it's also important to continuously be in practice and showcase their talent in front of their peers. Please do ask your son to be in touch. We're taking now the
I'll
last
be delighted to
questions.
do that. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for coming to the session. We'll
Mr.
now
Manish.
take Mr. Manish's question.
जी माफी चाहता हूँ आई इंटरवीन एंड हाईजैक नहीं मैं सिर्फ इतना पूछना चाह रहा हूँ स्पेशली बिकॉज आपने स्पोर्ट्स मेंशन किया तो मेरा बेटा एक प्रोफेशनल क्रिकेटर है जो वापस पढ़ाई की तरफ जा रहा है बहुत साल क्रिकेट खेला है हैदराबाद में खेल रहा है एंड ही सडनली डिसाइडेड कि उसको पढ़ना है आई डोंट नो अपने चाचा से इंस्पायर हुआ व्हाट but he suddenly wants to go into studies. So मेरे पूछना था he wants to continue with that passion in Delhi also. हैदराबाद से आएगा बट यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल गेम्स आपके पास स्पोर्ट्स होते हैं जिस पे वो खेल सके क्योंकि यहाँ पे वो हैदराबाद लीग्स खेलता है जो बीसीसीआई के लीग्स होते हैं.
Gunjan,
that's
So,
my
sir,
question.
yes, we also had a lot of students who would play for Ranji from our college, from Bennett. So they practice regularly. Plus, Bennett, Greater Noida has a very great sports facility, very close to the university. A lot of our students, they go there and meet this Kabaddi League, Pro Kabaddi League, and a lot of NBA, not NBA, the basketball league matches, they are also scheduled in the sports facility, JP sports facility, which is in vicinity. So a lot of our students, every week, they go using college bus and do practice there.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
And Sanjeev sir, I think at this point one must also mention that attendance in classes is also elementary. And would you like to maybe just talk about that, and then we can close the session so that academic, co-curricular, and extracurricular all can go hand in hand?
Thank you, Professor Gauri. That's, I think, one of the pain points for us as faculty members that, we feel we put in so much effort and then, every faculty member spends hours and hours for a, 1 hour presentation in class. And then out of 50 students, if only 25 turn up or 30 turn up, you feel a little let down. So therefore, this is this is just a request to all parents that whenever you talk to your ward, please make them realize the importance of attendance, because we are in continuous learning mode, right? Now, for example, if Gunjan is teaching them studio production, and if he's taught how to use the PCR or the production control room for 3 weeks, and if somebody has missed those 3 weeks, then Gunjan will give some assignment in the third or the fourth week. Now, if you've not covered those 3 weeks, how are you going to pass? And if you don't pass that particular assessment or assignment, then it's a vicious circle. So therefore, we tell all the children, and we would request you also to imbibe the same thing, that please tell them to be regular. They will enjoy it. It's a mix of both. So it's not just about just writing or just doing assignments. A lot of assignments will be fun. So therefore, this request is to everybody, because at the end of the day, if you do not have the required attendance, then it becomes very tough for us as faculty members to allow them to sit for exams, to pass them, etc., etc. And those are, things that can easily be avoided. So just putting it on the table right now. And I'll just take 2 minutes to finish. We had that question on placements. We, as Shruti ma'am rightly said, we try our best. But sir, वो आप घोड़े को पानी तक ला सकते हो, लेकिन घोड़े को पानी पिला नहीं सकते हो. तो वो हमारा एक लिमिटेशन रहेगा. That and the last thing is, of course, you said there are a lot of new faces, and people keep coming. So like my favorite soft drink is Thumbs Up. Thumbs Up 20 साल पहले उसका टेस्ट और आज भी उसका टेस्ट सेम है. टाइम स्कूल ऑफ मीडिया का जो टेस्ट है वो आपको सेम ही मिलेगा, कोई आए या जाए. That is something that we can assure you, and we will make sure that that happens, and that is something that we take guarantee for. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev sir. And I think it's the right time now to close this session. I would request Gunjan to please give a vote of thanks. And from my and Nikhil's side as moderators, thank you so much for this lovely interaction. Over to you, Gunjan.
Thank you, Gauri ma'am. So it's a formality though, but I would just like to begin with my apologies for the technical glitch which happened right in the beginning. So from now on, for the further interaction, I think we would prefer Teams, Microsoft Teams. And then I would like to thank everyone who joined, including all the faculties, Reeti, especially, who had to come. She was in office at the moment, and all the parents who took time from the busy schedule to join this meeting. Thanks, everyone. So shall I close this session? Thank you, everyone. And if you have any questions, we can post on the WhatsApp group.
And have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
And you can meet us on the campus.